Welcome back to Riding Bikes in San Diego. We are leaving Ocean Beach via Nimitz, and we're going to end up in the Point Loma neighborhood. But we're on this pretty big bike lane, and not only does it have flex posts, but it has these little curbs also. This is a nice bike lane. This came in a couple of years ago, and it was, I think, a real pleasure to ride on. I wish that it was a little more cleaned out. There's a lot of leaves and debris that collect in here. But for the most part, it's a really nice lane to ride in. Although, one of the things I want to point out, and one of the things I wanted to make this video about, is that as nice as a bike lane is, it's usually really designed for like one person to use. So sometimes there's actually traffic in the bike lane, and I want to talk about that a little bit today. You can see that the drivers next to us, they have a couple of lanes. There's plenty of room to pass, and in theory, I think that this bike lane has room to pass. Also, might see a person on a bike coming up behind me, and I would have a little more room to get over, but they did not say on your left. I think that person did, but the next person coming up does not. And they're going much faster than me, partially because I am on a regular bike and they are riding an e-bike. And they're with this person, I think, behind me. This is also a fun video for everyone who says nobody uses the bike lanes. People are using it, and really there are not that many people driving by us. So, in a neighborhood like this, on a day like this, at a time of day like this, there's mixed use happening. This person is going to pass me eventually. I'm trying to stay over so that they just kind of do it already, but we are approaching a traffic light. Maybe we thought that was going to change, but they get by also on their e-bike. And I like e-bikes. I have a couple of them. I ride them pretty often. I think that e-bikes are really fantastic. They are hill killers. I talked about this in a video previously over in the Grantville area. E-bikes really open up a whole world of access to people who want to get out of their cars, not have the risk of driving, and enjoy their city in a way that's a bit easier. The thing is, in this bike lane, which has now narrowed quite a bit, they stopped pedaling. And I'm behind them. So they passed me, but I don't feel like there's room to pass them. And it's bumming me out a little bit. On the uphill, on the slight gradual uphill, they used their e-bike power to get around me. But now that they're in front of me, they're right in front of me, and they're just kind of taking it easy. I feel like this is almost the equivalent of like brake checking, when somebody in a car pulls in front of your car and taps on the brakes to regulate your speed. I don't know what the etiquette is here. I'm sure some people would think that I should just bump out into the regular travel lane, but this is like a freaking expressway, right? This is at least a 40-45 mile an hour speed limit on here, and I'm not trying to get in anybody's way, but also when you pass someone, you should pass them. Like, you should make sure that you're going at a pace that creates a safe amount of distance between you and doesn't frustrate the people behind you. We're on a downhill now, or we might be on a flat. I'm pedaling, but they seem to be just chilling. Luckily, this bike lane is going to get comically wide in just a moment here, and when it does, we'll be able to get over and around. But this is a conversation that we don't have very often because few people bike, because there often aren't safe places to bike, and it's a conflict that doesn't really come up too often. But now that there are more bike lanes, and the bike lanes that are getting built might be really great, but they are also only made to really accommodate single riders going in a single file. We're going to have, the more people who ride, the more we're going to have some conflicts, and the more we're really going to have to make sure that traffic engineers design lanes that accommodate a lot of riders. I passed them, as you saw, and they might catch up actually at the next light. I think that they do make their way over, but once we're out of that hilly area and on some more flat area, I'm riding faster than these guys. And I'm not a race guy. Like I subscribe to the philosophy of party pace, like Path Less Pedaled, Russ over there on his channel does. It's a great channel, by the way. If you don't know that channel, I don't know him personally, but I watch it all the time. He really talks about bikes in a way that I love. Just kind of weird bikes, kind of really sticking to the mechanical aspects of bicycles. That makes me really happy. I'm pretty sure that the drivers do come up here, or rather those riders on the e-bikes come up here. And I'm just going to wait for this light, obviously. And even though the bike lane did collapse into a turning lane and that big pickup truck driver wants to make the turn, if they were in a normal sized vehicle, they might be able to squeeze through and make that turn, but they're not. So they have to wait. And when the light turns green, we can take this road, which is going to take us over to Harbor, and then we're going to ride past the airport and all that good stuff. But I guess the conversation is, at what point do bike lanes have to accommodate more traffic, and at what cost? We want it to be safe. We want everybody to be able to ride. But in the meantime, while we have these narrow strips, if you happen to be riding and you pass someone, especially if you're riding an e-bike and they're not, make sure you create some distance. Make sure that when you're passing, you're actually going to pass and not create some kind of conflict. Until then, we are going to enjoy this beautiful day, drive less and ride a bike. Thanks so much.